Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be doing a new quarterly TBR. This will be for the first quarter of 2026. If you're new here, the way that I'm doing my TBRs is I just do them 3 months at a time because I have a hard time sticking to TBRs because my borrows from Libby will pop up and then I got to read it then, I don't like waiting 4 months for me to put it on a TBR. So, having 5 books on a quarterly TBR allows me to actually follow through with my TBR while being able to read those things that pop up or I'm just more in the mood for or whatever. And I don't know, it just makes me feel better. Okay, so that's how we're going to do it. For this list going into 2026, I have 26 priority reads that I'm trying to get through. Well, I decided that I'm going to put 3 priority reads from that list onto this quarterly TBR. And then 2 of those reads will be just whatever I want to prioritize in those 3 months. So for the first one is Best Served Cold by Joe Abercrombie. This one is a reread that I'm currently doing. I've got The Last Argument of Kings on deck for December. And then I'll do Best Served Cold in the next 3 months so that I can be working through that reread. If you don't know, Best Served Cold is set in Joe Abercrombie's first law series. So there are like 9 books in total. You've got 3 that are part of a series for the first law. And then you've got 3 standalones. Best Served Cold is the first of those standalones. And then you have 3 more that are part of a series together. So 9 books in total. Well, Best Served Cold is set in a time where we're following this woman, Monza, I think is her name. And she ends up getting betrayed. And I mean like betrayed. And they tried to kill her. And her goal is to get them back. That's the whole goal of this story, is she is out for revenge because they deserve it. And I mean, they really do deserve it because they tried to kill her and they did her dirty in a lot of ways, and she's going to get her revenge. And so we're basically following her as she's gathering this crew. I don't remember if she's intentionally grabbing this crew or if it just so happens that she needs this person to do this so that she can do this. I don't know exactly how it worked. It's been a minute since I've read these. I started reading these in 2020. So it's been a minute. And I don't remember a whole lot about it. I know that I don't like this one the best of the standalones. Heroes is my favorite, and that's the next one. So I cannot wait to get to Heroes. But Best Served Cold is majority of everyone else's favorite. I'm just the oddball out. I liked it well enough. It's just not my favorite. The next one on this list is The Pucking Wrong Number. This one is a hockey romance. Listen, if you've been here for any time at all, then you've probably heard me mention hockey romances are my thing. I'm a little bit obsessed, okay? I just read 4 books for hockey romances in between October and November for a hockey vlog. I'm here for it. So leave your hockey recommendations down below. But this one, we're following this girl, Monroe. She's in a city. It's a new city. And she gets this text message from this dude. And she has no idea who it is. It's a totally wrong number. But she interacts back. And I don't know if she tells him up front that he texted the wrong number or what. Apparently they go back and forth for a little while, and now he's wanting to pursue her. And turns out he's a hockey god and super wanted and super used to getting what he wants when he wants it, basically. He's not used to being rejected, and so he just keeps pursuing. Apparently there's a lot of red flags, and I don't know what kind of red flags. I'm really interested. I wonder if it's he's just a bad boy sort of thing, or if we're actually really kind of toxic. I have no idea. Look at these covers though. It looks like it might be more toxic than anything. But also the Vancouver Wolves, they had dark covers like that too. But I don't know. I just get a vibe of like kind of dark, kind of toxic and dark, which might be fun. So I'm here for it. Apparently, there are several of these. I'm excited. I will not subject you guys to a whole individual hockey vlog again. That was a lot. That was a lot of vlogs happening at once. So I'll just do this one in a general reading vlog. And then this next one is one of the priority reads that I would like to get to, and it is Nosferatu by Joe Hill. This one, I already have the borrow from Libby. It's suspended at this point. So all I have to do is just unsuspend it, and it might take me a week or two, if that, to get it. So I could read this one in January, and I probably will. Like, that's my plan right now, is to read this one pretty quickly in January. Super excited about it. I've never read anything by Joe Hill. I'm actually really not much of a horror reader, but I'm super interested, and so I really want to read this one. I mean, it's the biggest book ever. Like, they say that it's massive, and I have no idea what it's about. I always forget what it's about and I always have to look it up, even though I've talked about it in like 3 or 4 videos now. But all I know is that we're following this girl who, like, she's a young girl, and I guess she ends up getting like abducted, and then she ends up escaping from her captor, and apparently she's the only one. So when we fast forward to adulthood, he is still trying to like get her because nobody gets away from him, I guess. I don't know. I've heard it's vampires. I've heard that it's like time travel, like JFK is involved or something. I don't know. I just know that a lot of people love this book. I've heard about it for years from BookTube. Like, BookTube seems to really love this one. So those are all just pieces that I think I remember from when other people would talk about it. I have no idea. But I hear really good things about Joe Hill. And so I figured Nosferatu is a great place to start. The next one is also a priority read. This one is Good Samaritan. And I am so excited for this one. I think this one is top 2 of the thrillers that I'm super excited to get to. This one, we are following this dude who his wife called a suicide hotline, and the person that took the call actually encouraged her to go through with it. So we've got the husband who is attempting to figure out what happened, and then we're also following the girl who took the call and her attempting to cover her tracks. Now, are we actually going to get both those perspectives? I don't know at this point. I hope so. It sounds like we would. I feel like we should, because those are 2 great perspectives. Who else we might follow, I have no idea. But this one sounds fantastic. And I cannot wait to get to this one. This one is highly recommended from the thriller girlies that I watch on YouTube. So cannot wait. And then this last one is one that I'm not entirely thrilled about, but I do want to read it because I want to finish the series. But it's very intimidating because it's a lot. That book is Wind and Truth by Brandon Sanderson. I loved these books when I first read them, but then I decided to reread the first 4 to prep for reading book 5, because these are 1,200 page books. There's a lot happening, and I wanted to go into book 5 like fully prepared. Well, I only made it through a reread of books 1 and 2. I struggled so much trying to get through book 2 that I decided I couldn't read book 3 and 4 before reading Wind and Truth. So I'm just going to find some summaries online and then just go into it, because book 2 was my favorite of the 4 that I had read, and even it was a pain to get through. So definitely not looking forward to that in this 5th one. But listen, Brandon Sanderson does a really good job with his stories. They have really great scenes, and his payoffs are usually really good. I mean, they're called the Sanderlanche for a reason. I mean, it's just like an avalanche. I mean, when things get going, they get going. And this is book 5 of this arc. So if you don't know anything about the Stormlight Archive, Brandon Sanderson has a 10-book series that he's doing, right? Well, he's going to do them in 2 separate arcs. So the first 5 can be read, and then you can stop there. Or you can continue on and read the next 5 and get more of the story. But he said you're totally fine to read the first set and then be done. He said that they are like for themselves. Well, we are following this dude Kaladin in the book one. Kaladin used to be a doctor, but then he turned soldier, then he turned slave, and we meet him when he's a slave. We have no idea what happened, and that's kind of how the story unfolds in book one. Is you get some of the present day with him, and then you get some of his history and how he got there and all those things, right? They're flashbacks. Well, each of the books have like that sort of format. So, like book two, you follow somebody else more closely and you get their backstory. Book three, you get somebody else's backstory, and it's just kind of how it goes, right? Well, throughout each of these books, though, you are following a load of different characters. Like we follow Kaladin, and then in the first book, we also follow Shalon, who is a scholar, sort of, and she's a thief. Like she's going to be a ward in order to be a thief so that she can provide for her family. And we're also following a warmonger. Mongrel? Hmm. He's a war general. That's probably an easier way for me to say it. And he is also trying to help lead this kingdom because his brother was king and his brother was assassinated. You find that out in like the prologue, so like it's not a spoiler. And Dalinar is attempting to deal with this war that we've been in since his brother was assassinated. And we have all of these things as far as like politics happening. We've got slavery happening. We've got racism happening. We've got a lot of different things happening in these stories. Meanwhile, we have like these gods and these heralds and these like radiant knights and things that are happening where that's causing like magic to be brought back into the world, and it's causing like a domino effect in the world and everything that's happening. And so we're just following these characters as they're trying to figure out how all this stuff is working, right? And Sanderson does a great job with his characters and his stories. And so I know that he will do a good job with this book as far as like the story itself and sort of like tidying up everything and closing all the threads that he needs to close. That's going to be great. I just don't know how much I'm going to care. And I've heard a lot of mixed things about this one. Everyone seemed to really love the first three, but then once we got to the fourth one, then everyone's kind of like, I don't know. And then the fifth one has definitely been people a little bit more firm in not fully enjoying it. So I don't know how it's going to go. I'm a little scared. So I may wait until like March to read this one, but it's probably going to be like a 45-hour audiobook. They're so long. So I probably need to start it like early so that I can actually like finish it within those 3 months. Decisions. But anyways, so those are the first 5 for my quarterly TBR. These are not the only books that I'll be reading. They're just some of the books that I'll be reading. They're the main ones that I want to make sure I get to at some point in those first 3 months of 2026. What are you reading in January? Have you already started making your lists? Have you read any of these? Let me know in the comments, and I will see you in the next one.